Now, a WYFF News 4 sports special.
We still got more basketball to play.
The Clemson Tigers.
I think we can compete with anybody in the country. So, yeah, we're ready to, for the next battle.
And Georgia Bulldogs back in the NCAA tournament.
But this is what we've been working for, and we believe each other. We trust in each other.
Along with SoCon champs, the Wofford Terriers. And
everyone's just so locked into the goal.
The defending national champions, South Carolina Gamecocks, shooting to win it all again.
We find ourselves individually and collectively as a team playing our best basketball.
Now, road to the title.
There's a rhythm to March, a comfort in the uncomfortable 40 minutes that decides a season. Unpredictable, unforgettable. March Madness always delivers. Thanks for joining us tonight for Road to the Title. I'm Mark Whiteman. Julia Morris and Chase Justice will join me in just a moment. An uncommon decade plus of dominance for Don Staley's Gamecocks, their 9th #1 seed in the past 11 tournaments. But we begin tonight in the men's tournament, where Clemson's going dancing yet again, as are the Wofford Terriers. Clemson and Wofford both in the Midwest region, separated by 10 seed lines in the tournament. Tigers earned the 5 seed by way of a remarkable regular season, while Wofford went to Asheville at 16-15, needing 3 wins in 3 days in the league tournament, and that is exactly what they did, upending Furman in the final to capture their 6th SoCon crown and big dance berth. But after last year's unprecedented Elite 8 run, Clemson came back even better, despite losing their top 2 stars, P.J. Hall and Joe Girard, to graduation. The Tigers reloaded once more, bringing in Boston College guard Jaden Zachary and Cincinnati big man Victor Lockin to pair with returning seniors Chase Hunter and Ian Shefflin. Then they reeled off a record-setting campaign battering Blue Bloods, Kentucky, Duke, and UNC, all while winning a program-best 27 games and going 18-2 in the greatest ACC season in team history. On the heels of dropping the ACC semifinal to Louisville, their first loss in more than a month, Clemson confident in a March Madness bounce back.
We've had a couple games that we haven't played as well and lost, and these guys have always rallied, and they've been very mature. They've been very professional in their approach. That's why we've had the year that we have. They've come to work every day and been very hungry and humble about what they're trying to get done.
Definitely some motivation. You don't like losing. The team's very competitive. We're just learning from it, learning from our mistakes, and going to this next game, with the right mindset, ready to win a ball game.
The Tigers will go the rest of the way, however, without Dylan Hunter, Clemson's ultimate glue guy, according to Brad Brunell, after he broke his hand in the ACC tournament. The Tigers will tip off Thursday against Southland champion McNeese State in Providence, Rhode Island, with the winner advancing to meet either Purdue or High Point in the round of 32. Julia?
Mark, as far as NCAA tournament resumes go, Wofford's isn't very flashy. The Terriers have had a season filled with highs and lows with a 10-8 record in conference play, but that's what makes March special. All it takes is one special tournament run to go dancing. The Terriers did just that in Asheville, winning their first 2 tournament games by double digits and capping off their run with a win over their rival. Wofford back in the big dance for the first time since 2019 after an up and down last few years. After their last tournament appearance, head coach Mike Young left for Virginia Tech and was replaced by former assistant Jay McCauley, but he resigned in 2022 during his 4th year. Dwight Perry was named the interim, eventually landing the job, and in his 2nd full season leading the team, the Terriers get the chance to compete for a national championship.
Any great team, there's always going to be adversity. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. And to be honest, a lot of times, right, success is very often linear. There's ups and downs, there's ebbs and flows. But I think the biggest part of our guys getting to this point is we've stayed the course. Even through those adverse times, our guys have trusted the process. And it's cool to see them rewarded in this way.
Wofford blistering hot from 3 against Furman in the SoCon title game, shooting 50% from downtown, and we know that can make any team dangerous come tourney time. The Terriers are a 15 seed and will take on 2 seed Tennessee on Thursday in an opening round game in Lexington, Kentucky. That game tips at 6:50. The winner plays the winner of a game between UCLA and Utah State. Chase?
Yeah, Julia, for the 5th straight season, the South Carolina Gamecocks will enter the Big Dance as a 1 seed. The defending national champs have been the epitome of consistent in recent years. But this season, Dawn Staley and company had to overcome a little adversity. They entered this season with a 43-game unbeaten streak, now a thing of the past after falling to UCLA back in November. Their 71-game home unbeaten streak ended this season in a 29-point blowout loss to UConn. How about a 57-game conference winning streak upended by the Texas Longhorns in early February? While it may sound like one of the pillars of consistency in women's college hoops are having a down year, a 30-3 record in SEC tournament championship normally more than enough to lock up the #1 overall seed in the Big Dance.
I mean, I'm not in the room, but obviously I think we did much more than probably any other overall #1 seed. We outdid ourselves even from last year with the amount of quality wins that we had, but I guess the committee was looking at something else.
South Carolina has advanced to at least the Sweet 16 in each of the past 10 seasons. Now let's take a look at the bracket. South Carolina will start its tournament journey against Tennessee Tech Friday at 4 p.m. down at Colonial Life Arena.
From one #1 seed to another, the 15th all-time for the bluest of basketball blue bloods.
The Duke Blue Devils are the 2nd overall #1 seed. They have the top spot in the East.
No Cooper flag, no problem. Duke won their 23rd ACC title Saturday in Charlotte without the Conference Player of the Year, who is expected back for the opening round after spraining his ankle in the ACC tournament. The Blue Devils sticking close to home for the opening weekend in Raleigh. They will face the winner of the first 4 matchup between American and Mount St. Mary's.
The SEC sending 14 of its 16 teams to March Madness, the most by any conference in the history of the tournament. Among them, the Georgia Bulldogs, back for the first time in a decade after going 20-12 in Mike White's 3rd season as head coach.
That's why we all came to Georgia, all of us, to build something. It's my favorite group I've ever been around. I could literally call practice at midnight tonight. We'd probably have pretty good practice. It's just the way these guys are. So I'm anxious to get back to work with them.
This will be the 5th NCAA tournament appearance for White, who led Florida to 4 NCAA appearances during his 7 years in Gainesville. Georgia, a 9 seed for this year's Big Dance. They'll play 8 seed Gonzaga in an opening round game in Wichita, Kansas. That starts at 4:35. Mark?
Still to come tonight, he's been right at home in his single season in these hills, but Victor Larkin's journey from Russia to Tigertown is anything but ordinary. And when we return, don't blink or you just might miss Malaysia Fulwiley's next breathtaking move. South Carolina's homegrown superstar eyeing another championship. Stay with us. You're watching Road to the Title.
I don't know that I've ever coached against a team that's got 10 McDonald's All-Americans on a roster.
LSU head coach Kim Mulkey, always animated, one of several coaches who have made jokes this season about the talent on Dawn Staley's squad. 10 McDonald's All-Americans on a roster of 13 players provides exceptional depth. Malaysia Fulwiley, one of those McDonald's All-Americans who has been a superstar since she stepped on campus and was named the SEC's 6th Woman of the Year this season. Malaysia Fulwiley's love of the game is as simple as a smile.
I like when I make shots. It makes me happy, so that's why I smile.
Smiles all around for Fulwiley this season as she wows on the court with her smooth moves, perfect passes, and incredible finishes.
I feel like I just go out there and just do anything I can do to win, and I put on like these goggles that like say like no one can guard me, no one can stop me, and I just go every time I get the ball until it goes in.
She has natural talent that has been evident from her playing days at Keenan High School in Columbia, where she won 4 state championships and scored more than 3,000 career points. Now in her 2nd season with the Gamecocks, Fulwiley is averaging 12 points a game with a hunger to be the best she can be.
I watch a lot of film. I watch a lot of practice film, game films, shoot-around films. I just watch anything I can watch to really help me and help grow my game.
And with Fulwiley leading the way, South Carolina's bench is averaging 41 points a game, the most in the country.
I feel like other coaches, they don't realize that our bench is coming. Their first starting 5, you got to have more people coming in because we're coming in. When we're all locked in, we are ready to go like we were today, we're going to be a very hard team to beat.
A star guard playing for another star guard in Dawn Staley. Fulwiley is learning from the best, but even her coach knows the way Fulwiley plays is just different.
Malaysia is a talent. She's a generational talent. And I say that is because she can do things on the basketball court that I haven't seen a female do. That's one, and she consistently does it.
As the Gamecocks get ready to make a run in March, Fulwiley is locked in. The ultimate competitor, ready to win her second national championship.
Everyone's just so locked into the goal, and you're like in the box, and you're with your team, and you're not trying to leave your team. You're not trying to leave the box, because when you leave the box, it's lonely. So I love it here. I love how determined every team is, how much every team wants to win, and how much my team wants to win.
Fulwiley also named one of 4 finalists this year for the award named after her coach, the Dawn Staley Award, which is given to the NCAA Division I women's basketball player who exemplifies the skills Staley showed throughout her career. Ball handling, scoring, ability to distribute the ball, and the will to win. Chase?
Julia, while Fulwiley still has multiple seasons ahead of her in the capital city, for several players on the Clemson men's basketball team, this tournament run marks the end of the road for their collegiate careers. And what a road it's been for these Clemson lifers. Chase Hunter's in his 6th season with the Tigers, while Ian Shefflin is in his 4th year. The duo are Clemson's 2 leading scorers, combining for nearly 30 points per game. But Brad Brownell says it's their character and leadership that sets them apart.
It's just the way they carry themselves. The respect that they've helped our program earn in the eyes of whether it's fans, whether it's other coaches, players, whoever, those guys are talked about a lot.
Brownell calling Shefflin a warrior for what he's battled through this season and praised Hunter's unbelievable versatility. Mark?
Those two have been the engine behind Clemson's consecutive tourney runs, an achievement matched by the Tigers' opening round opponent, McNeese. After winning his 2nd straight Southland title last week, head coach Will Wade might be nearing the end of his 2-year run in Lake Charles, Louisiana. The 42-year-old could soon be up for bigger jobs, but his first job in coaching was back in 2002 as a student manager at Clemson, his alma mater.
Shoot, first time I hear that fight song, I twirl my arm for the ON, but no, I'm just joking. I follow the football program very closely. Y'all all know that. We don't practice when they play football. It's a great place, but once that ball goes up, man, I'm all McNeese.
Wade has done a terrific job at McNeese. He was fired at LSU, however, in 2022 for recruiting violations and has been linked to the opening at NC State.
Well, Wofford's Kyler Filowich is a viral sensation for his free throws and a dominant force down low for the SoCon champion Terriers. From one foreign-born big man to another. Straight ahead, Clemson's Victor Locken on his winding journey from Russia to Clemson and his first NCAA tournament.
Clemson's historic exploits this season, aided by a towering Russian who jumped through hoops and traveled across countries, all in the hopes of playing college basketball stateside. Victor Locken on love, loss, and his long, winding road to March Madness.
You wouldn't know it to look at him.
Clemson great, baby!
But Victor Locken didn't always love basketball.
My parents, my mom especially, wanted me and my older brother to do something together. She sent my older brother to play basketball. He told me what bus to take. Bus didn't came for like 10 minutes, and I went home because I didn't. That was my passion about basketball. That was like close to zero.
Alongside his brother, Locken made it to practice the next day. It took a swish to change his mind.
I remember to this day, I made 2 free throws, 2 out of 2, and it's kind of like give it a spark probably, or kind of show me that I'm good at it.
Growing up in Anapa, Russia, on the coast of the Black Sea, Locken hoped to move to Moscow and score points for a club team. But before he could, the teenager needed to score 3,000 points at home, a system designed by his dad.
He came up with it. I hated it from the start.
Making the bed, A's in school, completing drills, like hitting a paper towel hanging from the ceiling with his head, those were plus points. Punishments, minus points.
If I lied about something, nuked my whole week or something. He would could erase my whole thing, because I would get 20 or 50 or 60 whatever pluses, and then one lie, he would erase all my pluses. My dad hates lying.
It took more than 2 years, but when he was 15, Locken reached Moscow, where he'd play for Siska 2 Moscow and the Russian youth national team. But after several years with the club, He sought something new, stateside.
I started exploring options. What are the options? And one of the most attractive at the time was the NCAA. Cincinnati was one of the first ones, if not the first one.
In the summer of 2020, just shy of his 19th birthday, Locken accepted a scholarship to Cincinnati. But acquiring a student visa from neighboring Ukraine amid the COVID-19 pandemic and rising political tensions took multiple attempts.
Russia and Ukraine at the time didn't have direct flights, so I went to Austria. From Austria to Kiev, didn't work, and then from Kiev they sent me back to Belarus, and from Belarus I took a bus. Mentally I gave up, but I was just okay, my body was struggling, but in my mind I was pretty sure it's not going to happen.
But with the help of his agent and new university, he was finally granted a visa. Locken was productive at Cincinnati and earned his degree, but never reached the NCAA tournament, transferring to Clemson last spring with 1 year of eligibility remaining.
Coach has been awesome. I mean, I was at Brunel. In a way, he gave me like that second chance.
He's made the most of the opportunity, scoring 22 points in back-to-back wins against Duke and North Carolina.
We're blue bloods too now.
The sweet shooting big man knows how to make others laugh. But Locken's love for Clemson and basketball, after everything it took to get here, that's straight from the heart.
Victor was emotional coming out onto the court. Does my heart good to see that because it shows how much somebody cares.
Really that consistency of like showing up every day and kind of keep grinding, keeping the faith. And I'm proud that like those things I didn't give up didn't like change, you know what I'm saying? Like now I'm here.
Locken has to be one of the best stories of this year's tournament. Another great story is Justin Bailey, who will always be a basketball legend in Greer after guiding Blue Ridge to their first and only state title in team history in 2022.
The Taylor's native never strayed too far from home, averaging more than 11 points per game in 2 seasons at USC Upstate. Bailey went looking for a change of scenery last spring and found it 4 miles away at Wofford.
He's played a key role for the Terriers, starting 33 games and was at his best last week in Asheville, scoring 19 points to help secure the SoCon crown and the March Madness bid.
It's surreal. I'm just thankful. All glory to God, man. This is a great team. We stuck together. It's an incredible moment. You know, we believe in one another, and we reap the benefits of it.
And this is really cool. Bailey will match up against his former USC Upstate teammate Jordan Gainey, now one of Tennessee's top scorers. The Volunteers, one of the favorites to cut down the nets next month. So are the Duke Blue Devils after another #1 seed.
And expecting to get the biggest name in college basketball back just in time for the NCAA tournament. We're talking Blue Devils plus Wofford's Kyler Filowich on his journey from hockey to hoops. We'll be right back.
We knew coming into this tournament, we felt like we were the best team, and I'm really fortunate that we were able to show it 3 nights in a row.
Wofford heading into the big dance, riding a 3-game tournament win streak. It's no secret that the Wofford Terriers are going dancing for the first time since 2019, but the player that is taking the internet by storm, none other than Canadian-born big man Kyler Filowich, who has much more to his story than just an underhand free throw.
One free throw at a time, Kyler Filowich is becoming a viral sensation.
And they have the dramatic free throws of Kyler Filowich shooting underhand.
Underhand, that's right.
It's pretty cool to see, some big names talking about it, like Dave Portnoy.
Originally from Winnipeg, Manitoba, the Canadian-born baller grew up like most kids from the Great North, on the ice, playing hockey.
I wasn't very good. That was the first sport I started playing when I was about 3 or 4.
But in middle school, Filowich realized his size was better equipped for the game of basketball. Taking after his big sister, who plays professionally overseas in Germany.
She was up in Canada, a really good university player. She won National Player of the Year her senior year. Being able to pick her brain and talk about it, because that's obviously something I want to do as well, is go play overseas.
In order to help elevate his chances of playing basketball at the next level, Kyler up and moved more than 1,200 miles east to Orangeville Prep in Ontario to finish out his high school career. And after a collegiate journey that saw Kyler play his first 2 seasons at Southern Illinois, he made the decision to enter the transfer portal, where he was contacted by then Wofford assistant coach Dwight Perry.
Coming to Wofford, I just thought it was a move that really would benefit me as a player, as well as you know, as a student as well. Such a great academic school and a great tight-knit environment.
Now in his senior season, Filowich is helping lead the Terriers to heights the program's only experienced a handful of times. Just the 6th time that Wofford Terriers will make an appearance in the NCAA tournament.
You know, we're that tough team, and we can do it offensively as well. More than anything, we know we can do it. We have that full confidence in ourselves that we can really make it happen. You know, we've played and won some big-time games the past couple of years, so we're not really afraid of anybody. Whoever we get, we know we have a good chance to beat them.
Filowich played a central role to the Terrier SoCon title last week, and Duke, meanwhile, they hoisted the ACC title in Charlotte without Conference Player of the Year, Cooper Flagg. The star freshman and projected first overall pick, he leads the Blue Devils in points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals, but he missed most of the weekend after spraining his ankle in their ACC quarterfinal win against Georgia Tech. Flagg ramping up activity this week, his head coach telling ESPN it's full steam ahead for Friday's opener.
Our goal is for Friday, no question about it. I know that's his goal as well. We're just going to progress in the right way and still be smart, not doing too much in the beginning of the week.
John Shire and Duke reached the Elite Eight a year ago. High hopes for this NCAA tournament. And Duke's Tobacco Road rival, UNC, making the tournament as the 68th and final team. They traveled to Dayton for Tuesday's first 4 matchup with San Diego State. The Tar Heels beat the Aztecs. They'll face Ole Miss Friday in Milwaukee.
And the NCAA Division II tournament started last week. The Anderson women made it to the Big Dance for the 2nd straight year. It also marked their 16th overall appearance in the tournament. The Trojans were a 3 seed for the Southeast Regional. They lost a close game to Carson Newman, 75-71 in the opening round. Mark?
Congratulations to the Trojans on a terrific season. But March Madness, it is here for Julia Morris, Chase Justice, and our entire team. Thank you for joining us for Road to the Title. Have a great night. May your brackets never bust and your champions cut down all the nets. Hope you enjoy all the hoops to come.